If your store feels busier than ever, messages, offers, sales notifications, constant motion, but your bank account doesn't feel any different, this episode is for you. Because at some point, every seller hits the same realization. Being busy is not the same thing as being profitable. And if you don't change what you measure, you'll keep working harder without actually moving forward. This is my so-called card life, where we talk about the hobby, the business, and everything in between. Welcome to my so-called card life, an inside look at the life of a low-end card reseller, brought to you by JC3 Cards and Collectibles, a premier reseller of trading cards available today on eBay, Collects, and whatnot. Whether you're looking to fill out that new set or just rekindle memories with one of your favorite players from your favorite teams, let JC3 Cards and Collectibles help you find that card you're looking for and provide fast, secure delivery straight to your door. Most sellers don't make bad decisions on purpose. They just respond to what they're shown. Platforms reward activity. Dashboards highlight volume. And notifications received celebrate motion. So we're trained to believe more listings equals progress, or more sales equals success, and that more activity equals growth. But none of those things automatically mean profit. Busy feels productive. Silence feels like failure. And that's how sellers end up chasing numbers that don't actually pay them. Most sellers aren't unprofitable. They're just measuring the wrong things. Let's talk about vanity metrics versus money metrics. And we'll start by working to separate these cleanly. First, vanity metrics. They feel good, and they look impressive. But they also lie. Total sales, sell-through rate, watchers, views, and listing count. None of those tell you whether your business is healthy. They reward motion, not efficiency. And they hide thin margins. And they delay hard decisions. Now, let's talk about the numbers that actually tell the truth. Metrics like net profit and not gross sales. Because revenue screenshots don't pay the bills. Net profit is what's left after fees, shipping, supplies, promotions, and of course, mistakes. If you're not tracking net profit, you don't know how you're doing. You're simply guessing. Profit is the only universal scoreboard. Next is margin per card. Not how fast it sold, not how cool the card was. How much did it contribute to your bottom line? Margin per card exposes things like bad buys, over discounting, and inventory that isn't worth your time. If you think of it in terms of two separate buys, 10 $2 profits feels busy. 5 $5 profits feel calm. Calm always wins. Profit per hour. This is the metric most sellers avoid, and the one that matters most. Every card costs time. There's time in listing, storing, shipping, repricing, and managing. If something takes an hour to make $5, it's not a business. It's a distraction. And that's why time is the hidden expense in every sale. Next is inventory velocity. Fast sales don't automatically mean good sales. Velocity only matters when paired with proper margin. Fast sales plus low margin simply equals churn, but slower with a healthy margin equals stability. The goal really isn't speed, it's clean turns. And that leads us to capital turn efficiency. How often does your money come back to you and come back better? Dead inventory is expensive, even if it eventually sells. Capital that turns cleanly gives you options, and options reduce stress. This is where episodes 19 and 20 connect. If adding inventory doesn't improve profit, you're not truly growing. You're just adding work. Listings don't fix bad buying. They don't fix thin margins, and they certainly don't fix poor focus. Volume without clarity increases burnout. And at the middle seller stage, more activity stops being the answer. You may be thinking, those metrics sound like a lot of work to track. But there is a way to use metrics without overthinking. You don't need any spreadsheets, and you don't need perfect tracking. You simply need direction. A simple cadence. Every week asking, did this make sense? Once a month, doing an inventory check. And once a quarter, reviewing your buying behavior. Clarity beats precision. And here's an adage I wish I had learned earlier in my life. Better questions always beat better dashboards. And we'll pause there for a quick reminder on what we want to stop tracking moving forward. Because if you want profit to get louder, you need to turn some noise down. So let's stop the following. Things like celebrating revenue alone, obsessing over watchers, comparing dashboards with other sellers, and chasing platform-driven dopamine. Replace motion with meaning. Now here is the middle seller breakthrough moment. Middle sellers don't need more hustle. They need fewer lies in their metrics. The moment you measure profit instead of activity, decisions get easier. Buying gets cleaner. Pricing gets calmer. And burnout drops. The moment you stop chasing busy is the moment that profits get louder. It's time for your challenge this week. And I want you to pick one number you're going to stop chasing moving forward, and pick one metric that you've been ignoring so far. And then make one decision this week based on profit, not motion. That's when you'll see that is how momentum actually starts. If you've been with us the past few weeks, then you know that episode 19 was about resetting habits. And episode 20 was about naming that middle seller stage. This episode was all about choosing clarity over chaos. Reset the expectations, protect the margins, and measure what matters. Thanks for spending a little time with us today. If this episode helped bring clarity, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps the show reach sellers who need it. And remember to join us every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central for the Dollar Box Live. 2 hours of news, nonsense, and knowledge brought to you from the Dollar Box and JC3 Cards and Collectibles. Spend a couple hours with me and Adam from the Dollar Box and be part of the conversation. Remember, reset the habits, protect the margins, and that's the work. We'll see you next time.